Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is create some sort of call to action button here below our body text. First, I'll cough and die. First things first is we're going to be using the shape tool again. So U on your keyboard, then up to the top, and I'll select a slightly darker grey than we were using before as our fill color. Press Ctrl H to show the guides again if you happen to have them hidden, and click and drag out a rectangle. Now, you'll notice when I let go of this, you can't actually see it. The reason for that is if you look over at the layers panel on the right hand side, rectangle 2 is below the feature image. So you need to click and drag that above it. There's a rectangle that we just drew. So with the move tool then selected, or V on your keyboard, you can move that into place. Now, I'm not spending the time properly aligning that to the margins. It is, however, centrally aligned, but you can go on and make sure that it's exactly 4 columns wide or however you want your button to look. I'm just going to leave it for now, nudge it onto place, and leave it up to you how you want your buttons to actually look from a visual point of view. Press T on your keyboard and drag out a text box, and here we're just going to click. We're going to click nothing, we're going to type click is what we're going to do. So click here, and as I was saying before with some of your other bits and pieces of text, it's really important at this point, if you have any buttons or any call to actions, that you put that actual text onto the button just to make it really intuitive for your user when it comes to testing. So now that we've got that in, I'm going back to my characters panel and just upping the size of it a bit. Again, entirely personal preference, depends on the style and the look and the feel of your particular app or digital product, how you want us to look. I've just upped it here to 64 point, and we'll maybe see how it looks in semi-bold. Maybe try bold. Again, depending on what font you're using, you may not have the same level of options there. I've just went back to regular. Perfectly fine for now. The next thing is we're just going to rename our layers. So change this to button text. We'll change the rectangle 2 layer to button shape, and select both of those layers, and I'm sure you know the drill by now. Control G or Command G to create a group, and we'll call that button. Now again, we need to drag this into the same place so that our layer structure matches our visual design structure, and the button is below the body text in the design, so that's exactly where it goes in our layer structure. For consistency's sake, what I'm going to do now is select both the bits of text from our feature image, group those as well, and call those feature image text. Just keeps everything really nicely organized. So within our feature image, you can see when I toggle it on and off, we have our feature image text, we've got our button, and we've got our image background, all clearly labeled and organized. So click on your button shape and then open the properties panel. Now you'll have things here for your width and your height and your coordinates. Don't really need to worry about those. This is your fill and your stroke options, however. If you click on your fill, we can dynamically change the fill to any color you want from the swatches, or click on the rainbow gradient type drill here and select anything you want. For now, I'm just going to keep it as a slightly darker grey. Again, it focuses more then on the layout rather than an instant knee-jerk reaction to I don't like that red or whatever. So what I'm doing here now is just showing you what happens whenever you take the fill off, and we can then select a stroke color. So I've selected a dark grey for the stroke color, up the stroke weight to 8, and again put px after for pixels. There you go, you've got a outline stroke button. I can up that to 16px for a 16 pixel stroke, and that might very well be exactly how you want your button to look. In this case, I want it to be a solid button, so I've set the stroke fill to none, and back to our fill color, change that to the dark grey. Now we've got options for our corner radius. Obviously there's 4 corners, so there's 4 values. If you want an equal value on all four corners in this area, you can just type one value followed by the px again. So there we go. I just typed 40px, it applies a 40 pixel radius to all corners. Now it's 80px, kind of getting that rounded button feel, and 100px. Photoshop's telling us that 88 pixels is the most it can do, but there you go. That's the properties panel, more or less how simple it is to change the appearance of a shape without having to redraw it over and over and over again.